Good morning, students, and welcome to the class today. In this particular class, we'll understand chapter 7 more on Python. Okay, so let's start.
In the previous lesson, you have learned how to declare and initialize variables. Now, you will learn how to use operators to perform arithmetic and logical operations in programming. Operators are symbols that perform arithmetic and logical operations on operands and provide a meaningful result. An operator needs one or more operands to perform any operations. The valid combination of both operands and operators makes an expression which returns a computed result. First, let us start with types of operators in Python. Operators can be of different types based on the kind of operation they perform. Number 1. Arithmetic operators. The arithmetic operators are used to perform basic mathematical calculations, that is, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. The arithmetic operators can be further classified as unary operator. These operators operate on only one operand. Example, A equals to plus 100. The value assigned to A is plus 100. B equals to minus 100. The value assigned to B is minus 100. Program 1. Binary operator. These operators operate on two operands. Example, A plus B. Here plus is a binary operator working on A and B. Binary operators can further be classified as addition. To obtain the sum of values. Value of 13 plus 3.5 is 16.5. Subtraction. To subtract the values. Value of 45 minus 35 is 10. Multiplication. To find the product of the data. Value of 6.2 into 6 is 37.2. Division. To divide the numbers and give an output in decimal form. Value of 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. Value of minus 5 divided by 2 is minus 2.5. Value of 10.0 divided by 3 is 3.333. Floor division. To divide the numbers and give an output in the integer form. Value of 5//2 is 2. Value of minus 5//2 is minus 3. Remainder. To find the remainder when one value is divided by the other. Value of 3% 2 is 1. Value of 10% 6 is 4. Value of 6% 10 is 6. Exponential. To calculate the power of numbers, value of 2 asterisk asterisk 3 is 8. Program 2. String operators. While working with the string values, you may have to perform some operations on them. Python allows only two kinds of operations to perform on string data types. You can either join two strings or replicate a string multiple times. For these two operations, we use plus and asterisk operators on strings respectively. Plus operator is termed as concatenation operator when we use it with strings. It is used to concatenate or join two or more strings. Program 3. Operator is used to replicate a given string for a number of times. It is also known as replication operator. Program 4. Here, the asterisk operator is used to print the string welcome 3 times. The output will be welcome, welcome, welcome. Solved programs. Program 5. Write a program to find the area and circumference of a circle whose radius is entered by the user. Program 6. Write a program to print the string entered by the user 5 times. Assignment operator. Assignment operator is used to assign the value of an expression to a variable. It assigns the value on its right side to the variable written on the left of it. You have used this operator previously in the programs. Program 7. In the above example, we assign the value 10 to the variable a, and then the product of a and 10 is assigned to the variable b. Relational operators. Relational operators are used to show the relationship between operands. These operators compare the values of variables and determine the result in a Boolean expression, which is either true or false. Python provides 6 types of relational operators as shown in the table given below. Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to. Let us understand these operators with the help of a program in Python. Program 8. Logical or Boolean operators. The logical or Boolean operators evaluate one of the two states, either true or false. We use these operators in Python to make comparisons. There are mainly 3 types of Boolean operators, that is AND or NOT. Operator AND. Example, if A equals to 5 and B equals to 10. A equal to 5 and B is greater than equal to 10. Output, A equal to 5, true. B greater than equal to 10, true. Explanation. So the result of the expression is true. Or A smaller than 5 or B not equal to 10. A smaller than 5, false. B not equal to 10, false. So the result of the expression is false. Not. A not equal to 5. A not equal to 5, false. So the result of the expression is true. Now let us know about operator precedence. An expression in Python may have more than one operator involved in it. When more than one operator is to be evaluated in an expression, the Python interpreter decides at runtime which operator should be evaluated first. This decision is based on the precedence and associativity of the operators as explained below. Precedence. Precedence is the priority order of an operator according to which it is evaluated. Each operator has precedence associated with it. This precedence is used to determine the order of evaluation of an expression involving more than one operator. There are different levels of precedence from high to low. An operator belonging to a higher level is evaluated first. Associativity. If two operators have the same precedence priority, then they are either evaluated from left to right or from right to left based on their level. It is termed as associativity, which tells the direction of execution of operators, left to right or right to left, when operators in an expression have the same precedence. Operator, parenthesis, description, parenthesis. Exponentiation, plus a, plus unary, minus unary. Multiplication, division, floor division, modulus, remainder. Binary addition and subtraction. Relational operators. Not and or. Boolean or logical operators. Higher precedence operators are operated before the lower precedence operators. When an expression contains operators which have the same precedence like asterisk and slash, then whichever operator comes first is evaluated first. Examples: evaluate the following expressions. 12 plus 3 into 4 minus 6 divided by 2. Solution equals to 12 plus 12 minus 6 by 2. That is equal to 12 plus 12 minus 3.0. That is equal to 24 minus 3.0, which is equal to 21.0. 12 plus 3 into 4 minus 6 divided by 2. Solution equals to 15 into 4 minus 6 divided by 2. That is equal to 60 minus 6 divided by 2, which is equal to 60 minus 3.0. That is equal to 57.0. 12 plus 3 into 4 minus 6 divided by 2. Solution equal to 12 plus 3 into bracket in minus 2 bracket close slash 2 equals to 12 plus bracket in minus 6 bracket close slash 2. That is equal to 12 minus 3.0, which is equal to 9.0. Let's know more. The precedence of an operator tells the compiler the order in which the operator should be evaluated. BODMAS rule is used to evaluate an arithmetic expression. BODMAS stands for brackets of, divide, multiply, add, and subtract. Let us understand conditional statements in Python. In the previous chapter, you have learnt about the basic elements of Python. In this chapter, you will be introduced to the concept of conditional branching and the various control statements available in Python. In our day-to-day life, we come across various situations where we have to take decisions and take actions accordingly. Let's take a simple real-life example. It is a rainy season and you want to go out and play with your friends. Before you move out to play, you want to be sure that the weather will remain clear throughout the day or not. In this case, first you will check. Condition: if the weather is clear. Plan of action: then you will go out and call your friends to play. Condition: if it is raining. Plan of action: You will sit at home and enjoy watching television or probably read a storybook. Let us take another example. You need to have a valid driving license for driving any vehicle. To apply for a driving license, your age should be greater than or equal to 18. Condition: if your age is greater than or equal to 18. Plan of action: then you are eligible to apply for a driving license. Condition: if your age is less than 18. Plan of action: then you are not eligible to apply for a driving license. As you have already studied about algorithm and flowchart, let us analyze the above example by placing it in an algorithm and a flowchart. Now let's talk about algorithm. An algorithm is a well-defined step-by-step procedure or a way to write a program. It helps us to understand the problem, and its solution is a better way. Algorithm to apply for a driving license. Number 1, input your age. Number 2, check your age. If your age is greater than 18, then you can apply for the license. Number 3, if it is less than 18, then you are not eligible to apply for a driving license. Let us solve the above problem by using a flowchart. Let us know about flowchart. It is a pictorial representation of the flow of steps or procedure to solve a problem. Flowchart to check whether you can apply for a driving license or not. Start. Input your age. Is age greater than or equal to 18? No. You are not eligible to apply for a driving license. Yes. You are eligible to apply for a driving license. Stop. In a computer program, statements are generally executed in a sequential manner. However, at times, the user may need to change this order of execution by repeating or skipping the execution of a few statements, subject to a given condition. In such a situation, the flow of execution is altered by the use of control statements. Before proceeding further, we must understand the different types of constructs or statements in programming that govern the flow of the control of a program. Let us find out about types of control structures. Sequential statements. In sequential construct, the statements in a program are executed in a sequential manner, where one statement is followed by the other with no possibility of branching off to another action. Program 9. To calculate the area of a rectangle, first enter the length and breadth of the rectangle, then calculate its area and print the result. Conditional statements. In programming languages, conditional statements cause the program control to transfer to a specific location depending on the outcome of the conditional expression. Every decision involves a choice between the two alternatives, yes and no result. If a conditional statement is true, then one set of statements is executed, otherwise the other set of statements is executed. Iterative statements. These statements enable the execution of a set of statements to repeat till the condition is true. As soon as the condition becomes false, the control comes out of the loop and the repetition stops. Okay, let us learn about conditional statements. Before you start writing programs based on conditions, it is important to understand how conditional programming works. In conditional programming, the most important element is the condition on which the decision is based. The conditional statements checks the condition and execute the statements accordingly. The conditional statements can be represented in many forms. If statement. The if statement is used when we have to evaluate only one condition. It performs a course of action if the condition evaluates to true. Otherwise, it skips the statements if the condition evaluates to false. For example, your parents allow you to go out for playing only if you complete your homework. Syntax: if condition. Statement 1, Statement 2. Remember that after the if condition there is a colon and the condition body starts with an indentation of tab space. It is mandatory in Python to indent the statements in the condition body, else it will display an error. Let us understand this through a Python program. Program 10. So in the above example, if you enter a number less than 200, it shows you the output. The number is less than 200. But what will happen if you enter a number greater than 200? No output will be displayed because you have not given any statement or instruction to be followed if the given condition is false. This is demonstrated in the following example. Program 11. Here nothing is displayed when you enter a number greater than 200. If-else statement. The if-else control structure is used when either of the two different actions is to be performed, depending upon the result of the conditional expression. It contains two blocks of statements. In case the condition expression evaluates to true, the statements in the if block are executed. And if the result is false, then the statements in the else block get executed. For example, you can go out to play if it doesn't rain, else you have to play indoor games. Syntax: if. Statements: set 1. Else. Statements: set 2. Program 12. In this example, when you enter a number less than 200, the first part, that is, the if part is executed and you get the output. The number is less than 200. When you enter a number greater than 200, in this case, the statement following the else part is executed and displays the output. The number is greater. Program 13. Create a program in Python to enter a number and check if the number is positive or negative. if-elif else statement. Sometimes we need to work with multiple conditions. In this case, only using if-else construct does not serve the purpose. The if-elif else statements provide a compact way to perform multiple tests on a condition. For example, when you visit a bank, you go to the counter according to the service you want to avail. If you want to deposit cash, you go to counter 1. If you want to inquire about the check, you go to counter 2. If you have to inquire for a savings plan, you go to counter 3 and so on. Syntax: if condition 1, statement set 1. Elif condition 2, statement set 2. Else statement set 3. We can also have the following syntax. Syntax: if condition 1, statement set 1. Elif condition 2, statement set 2. Elif condition 3, statement set 3. Elif condition 4, statement set 4. Else statement set 5. Program 14. Write a program to display the name of the day according to the number given by the user. Hence, from the above example, it is clear that we can add multiple conditions to a program using conditional constructs. Program 15. Create a program in Python to display the name of a color on the basis of corresponding color code.
With this, we are finished with the chapter. Thank you.